Hi there everybody, welcome to our mini retreat, first mini retreat for a happy new year. I can't see anybody there yet, great, okay, one person's joined. Hello, welcome. So basically this first part is just going to be welcome to the retreat. I'm going to give you a quick introduction to what we're going to be doing, why we're going to be doing it, and why you should be doing it. So it's also a chance for you to say hi, so please just say hello as you are coming into the group. If I keep looking right, the reason is that I've got a screen here so I can see your comments and things on there. So yeah, please do say hello as you are arriving because this is a retreat, it's a community. My name is Vicky. For those of you who don't know me, I am from Ucele Yoga and I'm going to be doing the yoga portion of this retreat today. My colleague Nigel from Swansea Shamatha meditation, he will be doing the meditation, the sittings. So the idea of this retreat, as you all well know, as we all well know, 2020 has been somewhat of a challenging year, to say the least. And for some people it's been quite sad, maybe unhappy. So the idea of this retreat is to move into the next year with a positive outlook, with optimism, and what we would like to do today is to either teach or remind you of some tools for that, looking to the future with that, but also some tools for being present in the current moment without getting tied up, as we all do, with thoughts of the future, with thoughts of the past. So plans for the future, optimism and positivity for the future, but also being here now in our experience and not letting it just disappear. Please do say hi, nobody's saying hi. So that's the idea of what we're going to be doing today. So I'm just going to quickly go through the schedule. As I said, this first 10 minutes or so is just going to be me talking. So, you know, if you want to go get your stuff and get your water and whatever it is that you need, please do. That's what this time is for. So our schedule, if you haven't seen it, but I'll just go through it briefly, is after this bit, then we're going to move into a pranayama. So we're going to do a nadi shodhana pranayama, a symbolic breathing exercise to clear the energies, to clear the passageways, and to balance ourselves in the right and left side of the brain, for example. So we're going to start with that. Then we're going to move into our yin-yang yoga session. This one is combining, somebody sent me a message, sorry, I just want to check that because I want to make sure that there are no problems. I will answer that in 1 second, sorry. Sorry, let me just answer it. Sorry about that, everybody. Yes, okay, so the yin-yang yoga is going to be a bit more energizing. This is the point of it. We'll combine two different approaches to yoga. I'll talk about it a bit more when we start. But this one's, yeah, to get the heart pumping, get the blood pumping around the body, and we're going to have a particular focus on the muscles for that one. So a little bit more energetic. We'll then move into a meditation with Nigel for half an hour. That's going to be 3:15. Then we'll have a screen break for half an hour because of course we all get very tired looking at screens. And then from 4:15 until 5:15, I will do a calming, yin yoga session for body and for mind. We will then move into one final meditation with Nigel. So the meditations, the first one is calming the mind, which is going to be following the breath mindfully, continuously, by focusing on one particular point. And then for yin yoga, for the second meditation with Nigel, it's going to be becoming more aware of the length and the quality of breath. So this is more about developing awareness. Finally, we'll have a closing at 5:45. So I'm aware that some of you may feel that you're done after the meditation. So by all means, if you want to leave then please do. But I would encourage you just to come along if you're willing and able to the closing, because with that, I want to just bring everything all together into a final closing the circle, if you like. I'd like to go back to the pranayama just for a few minutes, just to notice how you feel after this retreat. Also just give you a couple of suggestions for the rest of the day, just to try and keep that hopefully calm and optimism and clarity that you're feeling. And then also I'm just going to leave it open for any questions, anything that anybody wants to ask as well. So that is the day. Somebody's just sent me a message. Let me just check. Right, sorry, somebody's having some problems. Did anybody else have any problems? Can you let me know, like seeing this in the community? Because somebody's having problems now. Okay, so setup. As you can see, I've got quite a few things here. It all depends on what you've got. Really, all you need is a yoga mat, and I would say actually for the yin yoga you don't even need a yoga mat. Props if you've got them, yoga props, so if you've got a bolster like this one, great, but if you don't, fine, not a problem at all. I would definitely suggest a blanket. I would definitely suggest having some cushions as well, and maybe some blocks if you've got blocks. Now if you haven't got blocks, like these for example, then books do the job. It's basically anything that will just prop you up and support you. So if you haven't got your stuff, you might want to go and get that now while I am chatting away. And also water would be good to have, maybe some snacks. Of course, you're going in and out of your space by all means today, but it is nice to have everything there for you. Go to the toilet, important for me. Do disconnect if you can. Obviously you're going to be watching this on a screen, but I would encourage you when we do have the screen break to actually make it a screen break and not check your social media or your emails or anything. Just leave it for today. It can wait, whatever it is. And yeah, tell anyone you live with to try not to bother you. As I mentioned before in my video, this isn't always necessarily possible because we are at home, but yeah, if you ask them not to bother you, if you can, or if they can. So the last couple of things I just wanted to talk about is in relation specifically to the yoga. So I teach functional rather than aesthetic yoga, and what I mean by that is I encourage you to listen, to really feel what's happening in your body, the stimulation that's happening in different parts of your body rather than what the pose looks like. So this is your yoga, your body, your yoga. This is for you. It should be benefiting you. It doesn't matter what you look like. So use me as a general idea of the shapes of the poses, but I'm going to be giving you in both the yin yang yoga and the yin yoga lots of adjustments, lots of variations. So please do pay attention to them and use them so that they suit you. Don't do what I'm doing just because I'm doing it. Do what is best, what you want to do for your body that gives you the right amount of stimulation, but no pain. So if anything feels like it's pinching or stabbing or tingling, or if something just doesn't feel right, then please do make sure that you come out of the pose. Don't come out really quickly, but do come out of the pose. If it doesn't feel right, then it isn't right. So please listen to your body. It's really, really important. Obviously, I can't see you, so yeah, please do. That's your responsibility. Please make sure that you do that. I will teach safely, of course, but that's your responsibility. Finally, I just want to, I hope you don't mind, but I just want to really quickly say, if you did enjoy the yoga part of this, then I do short yin yoga and yin yang yoga sessions on my Ucele Yoga Facebook page every week. And I also do longer online classes and workshops. So if you are interested in joining those, then please do follow my Ucele Yoga Facebook page. And you can even join the email list if you like. Just look for my website, Ucele Yoga website. For Nigel, then you can find Swansea Shamatha meditation, and you can find out more about what he does. This information is all in the About section, so you can find this information here. And then finally, I just wanted to say this retreat is free, and we're very happy to give it to you for free. But if you did want to donate anything, there is a PayPal link in the again in the About section of the community. So we wouldn't say no if you wanted to do that. But there is absolutely no. It's completely up to you. It's your choice. So that's it. I think I'm going to stop talking now. Bernice, I'm hoping that Bernice is here. Perhaps you can tell me if you're there, Bernice. I'm hoping so. So we're going to start with a pranayama. So if you just want to get yourself into a comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you. So maybe that's kneeling, maybe that's cross-legged, maybe more Burmese style like this, or perhaps for you, maybe you prefer to sit with your legs out straight in front of you. Now, for anybody who feels like they fall back, which actually many people do, I would suggest, as I'm doing, to sit up on something. That tilts you forward, and that means you're not holding yourself up. So therefore, you're not using any muscular effort. So I'll just give you a minute or so to sort yourself out, and I'm just going to check and see anybody who's having any problems. So just find your position. So Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. Nadi means little river, and Shodhana means purification. Bernice is in, great, okay, good. So Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing, is basically a purification of the energies, but also we can also see it as a balancing within ourselves energetically, but also we're balancing the different parts of ourselves, the different sides of the brain. So those of you who have done yoga before have probably come across this, and there's a few different ways of doing it. I'm just going to start my timer so that I don't go over time. If you have your own way of doing it, then by all means do, if you use a particular hand gesture. So there's a couple that you can do. So for example, you can use the middle finger, place it between the eyebrows, and then basically we're going to be closing and opening the nostrils alternately. So you can use the thumb and the little finger for that. That's one option. Or you could just bring those middle fingers down completely if you wanted to, and then close and open with those two fingers. The other option is to bring these two fingers down, so the first finger and the middle finger, bring the fourth finger and the little finger together, and then we're going to be using alternate nostrils with the thumb and the fourth finger, but keep it quite loose. It can be a bit uncomfortable, but maybe this one works best for you. So you choose this one, or this one, or any others that you know of. So just place your hand, both hands on your knees, close your eyes, and just bring your attention to your normal breath. Noticing the connection of the body, noticing what it's touching. So notice what the feet are touching, the ankles, the legs. Sense where the hands are and the weight of the arms. You might want to bring the shoulders back a little to open the chest, but then relax the shoulders. You don't want to be uptight. Upright, but relaxed. Bring the chin down a little bit so that your head is straight. And then bring your attention back to your normal breath. And just noticing where you feel it in the body. The rise and the fall of the body. Maybe the chest. Maybe the belly. Maybe the shoulders going up and down. Notice which part of the body you can feel your normal, natural breath. And then just bring the hand with the gesture, the hand gesture towards the nose, keeping the body relaxed. Breathe out completely through the nose. Now close the right nostril with the thumb. Breathe in the left. Close both nostrils, hold the breath. Open the right, breathe out of the right. Breathe in the right. Hold both nostrils. Open the left, breathe out the left. Breathe in the left. Hold. Breathe out the right. Breathe in the right. Hold. Out the left. In the left. Hold. Out the right. In the right. Hold. Out the left. In. Hold. Out. In. Hold. Out. And continue to do that with your eyes closed in your own time, keeping the body relaxed but upright, keeping the breath slower than usual, but not forced, still natural. Your breath in, your hold and your breath out should all be around the same length of time, but in your own time. Keep the breath slow, keep it even. Keep the body relaxed. Maybe noticing the movement again, noticing the movement as the body as you breathe in. Noticing where you hold the breath and then breathing out again. And then after the next final out breath, out of the left nostril, and just place the hand back down on the leg, keeping the eyes closed. And then just noticing again how you feel. What's happened to the quality of your breath? And just be here with your breath. Just noticing your experience. Noticing any feelings. Again, coming back to where you feel the rise and the fall of the body as you breathe your normal breath. Mindfulness of breathing. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And we're going to start the Yin-Yang Yoga. But before we move into the Yang part, we're going to begin with a Yin pose. And as we're in the Yin pose, I will just explain to you what Yin-Yang Yoga is. So if you just want to move into butterfly pose. So butterfly pose is where you bring the soles of your feet together. You can see me. And then you fold forward. So I want this to be a particularly soothing, relaxing pose with a particular focus on the back. So you may find to get more fold, more rounding in the back, you want to bring the feet a bit further away. So by all means do that. Perhaps you might want to separate the feet. Play with the position of the feet so that you've got a nice round back so that we are stretching the back, stimulating the nerves, soothing the nerves. Now, if you find this isn't comfortable in the knees, and by moving the feet either closer towards you or further away, it's still not feeling good in the knees, then grab those blocks or those books or whatever it is that you have, place them underneath the knees or underneath a different part of the leg to support them. So just play with those adjustments and fold forward into butterfly pose. And we're just going to stay here for a few minutes, just to relax the system before we move into the yang part of our yin yang yoga session. Maybe shaking the head a little, just to loosen up the neck. Move the shoulders if you want to. And your hands, your arms can be wherever is comfortable. If your ankles are digging into the floor, by all means, just put something underneath them. Do whatever you need to make sure the body is in a comfortable position so we can get the best out of the pose. No pain. Listen to your body. You can keep that breath slow and even as we were doing with the Nadi Shodhana. The arms can be on the legs, or maybe under the legs, or resting on the feet or the knees, or wherever is comfortable for you. And in Yin Yoga, for those of you who haven't done it before, what we do is we resolve to stay relatively still in the poses. And we're in these poses for around 3 to 5 minutes. So it's really important to make sure that the body is in a position where it's stimulated, so where we're stretching the back, and you may well be feeling it in the legs, probably, but not necessarily the inside thighs. We want to be feeling that stretch, definitely, but it shouldn't be too much or too little. We should be feeling something is happening, our body is working, but it's not hurting us. So we're trying to find a differentiation, the difference between pain and stimulation. So between hurting ourselves and challenging ourselves in a natural way, actually. So Yin Yang Yoga, please just stay in this pose. I'm just going to explain what we're going to do. The idea of Yin Yang Yoga is to try and bring some balance to ourselves, physically, emotionally, energetically, mentally, in everything. So the idea of Yin Yang comes from the ancient Chinese philosophy, I suppose, of yin and yang, which is about opposites coming together, working together, complementing each other to form a whole, for balance. Day and night, black and white, hot and cold, pain and comfort. We wouldn't understand one without the other. They need each other, yin and yang. So when we're talking about Yin Yang Yoga, we're bringing two different approaches to yoga together for balance. So the Yin Yoga is actually Yin Yoga, which is slow, passive, still, long-held poses. And the Yang Yoga is something more active, relatively, dynamic, moving, flowing. For those of you who have been doing yoga for a long time, then I'm going to be giving adjustments, variations. So you might want to choose those options that I give. But for anybody who's quite new, then yeah, as I mentioned at the beginning, just listen to your body. Don't do necessarily what I'm doing if it doesn't suit you. Then you can always just choose the original pose, the original variation that I've given you. And you can just do that in the different stages. You'll see what I mean by that as we go along. One more time, I do want to say, make sure you listen to your body and use my variations and adjustments so that it suits your body. Any pain, come out. So we're going to move out of butterfly, so just slowly come back up to the center, take hold of the knees, bring the knees in. And before we move, try not to move yet, because this is a really important part of yin yoga, which is to feel how the body is and how the mind is after we've done a pose. So just close your eyes. And just notice how the body feels. How it feels in the back, in the legs, if it's had any effect on the mind. Keep the body relaxed. Notice any sensations that are happening right now, if there are any. And then just place the hands on the floor behind you and just drop the knees to one side and to the left. Paying attention to the movements. Not just doing them automatically. This is something I'd really encourage you to do today. And in fact, you may find that the yang part of the yin yang is maybe a little bit slower than you're used to. And the reason that I do that is because I really want you to pay attention to what you're doing, to what you're experiencing, what you can feel in the body, not automatic movements. So that's why I tend to do it a little bit slower. Okay, so then make your way now to the front of the mat. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. Close your eyes for a moment. And you might want to start slowing down your breath a bit. And if you know ocean breath, if you know Ujjayi breathing, then perhaps you might want to use that. And we will do the movements with the breath to the best of our ability. Legs are strong. Palms pressing towards each other. Notice how that feels in the shoulder blades. Okay, so then we're going to start. So as you breathe in, stretch the arms up. As you breathe out, fold forward. As you breathe in, right leg back, knee down. As you breathe in, next breath in, stretch up. As you breathe out, drop down a bit, but scissor the legs towards each other. Breathe in, stretch up again. Breathe out, hands on the floor, straighten that front leg to whatever degree, just to feel a stretch in the back thigh coming forward. And stretch up again. Breathe in. Breathe out, come down, lunge. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, hands on the floor, and then push back, stretch that front leg. The knee can be bent a bit, that's okay. And one more time. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, drop down a bit. Imagine the legs are magnets, keep them strong. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, walk the hands back, straighten that front leg. Then come forward, and on the next out breath, come to down dog. Now the legs can be bent here if you like, that's fine. This is the first down dog, and if you're new to yoga, not a problem at all. In fact, if you're new to yoga and this is too much, go down on the knees, not a problem. So just bend the knees, play with the down dog, pushing the hands into the floor, and then just pushing the heels towards the floor to get that stretch in the backs of the legs. On your next out breath, bring the knees down. Breathe in, arch the spine. Breathe out, curve the spine. Breathe in, arch. Breathe out, curve. Breathe in, arch. Breathe out, curve, and bring your bum towards your heels, arms outstretched. On your next in-breath, I want you to go to plank. So breathe in to plank. Breathe out, knees go down. Breathe in, push the hands into the floor. Breathe out, bend the elbows, come down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Arms go back. Breathe in, lift the top of the body. Breathe out, come down. Breathe in, top of the body, press the thighs into the floor. Breathe out, come down. Breathe in, top of the body. Breathe out, come down. Breathe in, go to child's pose. Breathe out, back to down dog. Come forward. Go to flat back, top of the head comes forward. Breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, come up, stretch up. Breathe out, palms together again. All right, do it side to side. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, left leg goes back. Breathe out, back knee comes down. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, drop down, scissor the legs towards each other. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, hands go down, push back, stretch in the back of the leg. Breathe in, stretch up. Keep the legs strong. Breathe out, lunge down, but legs strong. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, walk the hands back, straighten that front leg. Toes can come up. Stretch up. Breathe out, drop down, but legs are strong. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, push back so that front leg is straight. Breathe in, come to the front, and up to down dog. Breathe in. Breathe out, knees down. Breathe in, cat. Breathe out, cow. Breathe in, arch the spine, cat. Breathe out, curve the spine, cow. Breathe in, arch. Breathe out, curve the spine and push into child's pose. On the next in-breath, go to plank. Breathe out, knees come down. Breathe in, push the hands into the floor. Breathe out, bend the elbows, come down. Breathe in, lift the top of the body and the arms. Breathe out, come down. Breathe in, top of the body and arms. Breathe out, come down. Breathe in, top of the body. Breathe out, arms come down. Breathe in, either push back to child's pose and into down dog or directly into down dog. Walk forwards to the hands. Go to flat back. Fold forward. Then come up, stretch up. And then hands in front of the heart. So next part, breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, right foot goes back. Breathe out, right knee goes down. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, then lunge, but this time bring the elbows back so that you're arching the spine. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, hands go down. Now you can walk the leg back, but if you want to, this time you can straighten the back leg if you wanted to. Then bring the back knee down. stretch up. Elbows come down, keep the legs strong. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, hands go down. That back knee can be on the floor, or you can straighten that back leg. Back down again. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, bend the elbows, arch the spine. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, hands go down. Walk the hands back and stretch that front leg. And from here, back to down dog. Down your knees. This time what we're going to do is a wave. So as you breathe in, drop the hips down. Arch the spine, looking up. Bring the head down. Push the hips back. Back to child's pose. Same thing, keeping the spine arched. And then start to bring the head up. Keep the arms strong, arching the spine. Bring the head down. Pushing the hips back. So as we're pushing back, we're pushing into the hands as well. One last time. Coming forward. Lifting the head. You can have the hips touch the ground if you want to, or you can have them hover. Head down, push into the hands, and then push back into child's pose. Next in breath, again, go to plank. You can have the legs straight here, or you can bring the knees down. Breathe in. Breathe out, coming down. This time as you breathe in, the legs and the arms come up. Breathe out, come down. Legs and the arms come up. Breathe out, come down. Keep the legs and the arms strong. Legs and the arms come up. Coming down. And then you can go back into child's pose or directly into down dog. Walk, or if you prefer, hop or jump to the front of your mat. Go to flat back. Fold forward. And then stretch up. Palms in front of the heart. Let's go to the other side. So breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, left knee goes back. Breathe out. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, elbows come down and lunge. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, hands down. Straighten that leg for a stretch in the back of the front leg. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, bend the elbows, arch the spine. Breathe in, stretch up. Hands down. Stretch that front leg either with the back leg up or the knee down. One more time. Breathe in, stretch up. Elbows come down, keep the legs strong. Breathe in, stretch up. Hands go down. Get the stretch in that back leg. Knee comes down. And then up to down dog. Or hands and knees, if you prefer. Down to hands and knees. And then we're going to do that wave again. So breathe in, bringing the hips down. Head's coming up last. Head going down, push into the hands, hips go back. And again, spine is arched. Hips are coming forward. Head comes up last, shoulders going back. Head goes down. Push into the hands. Bringing the hips back towards the feet. One more time. Breathe in. Spine is curved. Head's coming up. Spine is arched. Hips towards the floor. Head down. Push into the hands. Hips going towards the heels. On the next in-breath, into plank. Bring the knees down here if you want to, or stay in plank. Breathe in. Breathe out, then the elbows come down. Breathe in. Bring the arms and the legs up. Breathe out, come down. Breathe in, keep the arms and the legs strong as they come out and come down. Breathe in, strong arms and legs. Come down. Breathe in. Come down. And then either go directly into down dog or child's pose. Walk, hop, skip, or jump to the front of your mat. Get a flat back. Fold forward. Stretch up. And then palms in front of the heart. Okay, next one. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, right leg goes back. Right knee comes down. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, lunge, arms go to the sides. As you breathe in, turn to the right side and the arms go as well. So you are twisting the upper body. Keep the legs strong here. Twisting to the right. One more breath. Next out breath, put the hand on the back of the thigh somewhere. Look to the front, turn that front palm over, and then bring that palm back. So you've got a bit of a back bend to keep the legs strong. One more breath. On the out breath, bring the hands up, and then we're going to move into warrior two. So twist that back foot, move it to where you need to, so we're in warrior two. Drop that knee down, feel the strength in the legs, arms are out to the sides. As you breathe in, straighten the arms and straighten the leg. Breathe out, come down again, warrior two. Breathe in, straighten the arms. Breathe out, come down. Breathe in, straighten the arms. Breathe out, come down. Then cartwheel the hands down, move into down dog. Now for this wave, you can do what we did before, so you can go back onto your knees or you can do it from up here. So either go down onto your knees and repeat what we did before, or come up onto the tips of the toes, and this time bring the whole body down. Hips towards the floor, arch the spine, head back, tuck the head, push into the hands, coming up into down dog. So you choose which one you prefer. Go up on the toes, hips going towards the floor, keep the body strong, keep the legs strong. Head comes down, pushing back into down dog. One more, up on the toes, bringing the hips towards the floor, head up, bring the head down, back into down dog. From here, go to plank, breathe in, come down. Next, move into whatever back bend you want. So that may be cobra, or it may be hovering cobra with the hands just above the floor. If it's in cobra, just stay there a little bit longer. If it's hovering cobra, you might want to do 3. And when you've done that, put the arms, the hand, the fingertips on the floor on the sides, elbows bent, push up. Drop the right elbow to the left hand, and then the left shoulder, to the right hand. And then that do again on the other side. Right shoulder to left hand, left shoulder to right hand. Back up to the center, come back down, move into child's pose, or directly into down dog. Walk, hop, skip, or jump to the front of the mat. Get a flat back, fold forward, and then stretch the arms up, palms in front of the heart. So we'll go to the other side. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, left leg goes back. Breathe out, left knee comes down. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, lunge forward, but the arms go to the sides. Breathe in, then twist to the left. Keep those legs strong. Twisting, feeling that twist in the upper part of the torso. Then putting the back hand somewhere on the leg. Look to the front hand, turn the palm over. And then bring that arm up and back. Pay attention to your lower back here. Keep the strength in the legs. Imagine that those legs are magnets. Keep them strong. Next out breath, arms go down, and then we move up into warrior two. So push up, front knee is bent, that leg is straight, move the leg to where you need to. Make sure that the knee's okay. Breathe in, straighten the arms, straighten the leg. Breathe out, warrior two. Breathe in, come up. Breathe out, come down. Breathe in, come up. Breathe out, come down. Circle the arms back down into down dog. And as I said, come down onto your knees for the wave if you want to, or you can do it from up here. Coming up onto tiptoes, bringing the hips down, head comes up, tuck the head, pushing into the hands, back to down dog. So continue with that twice if you're up there. I'll show you from down, hands and knees if you want to do it this way. Same thing, but on the hands and knees, going into child's pose. Another option is to continue with cat-cow, if you prefer that. And then you'll either end in down dog or child's pose from either one. Go into plank, come down. Your choice of a back bend. If you're doing a cobra, then stay here. If you're doing a floating cobra, you can do it a few times. Strengthen the arms. Come down. Hands on either side of the mat, push up. As you breathe out, right shoulder to left hand. Breathe in, come back up. Breathe out, shoulder to right hand. Breathe in, come back up. Breathe out, shoulder to left. Come back up. Breathe out, shoulder to right. Come back up. And then fold forward. Hands under the shoulders. Child's pose or directly to down dog. Walk, float, jump to the front of your mat. Flat back, fold forward, come up, and then bring the hands in front of the heart. You can either let the hands by your sides or leave the hands where they are. Close your eyes. Notice your breath. If your hands are at your heart, feel the heart beating. Notice once more where you can feel the breath. Start to relax the body. We're going to move into the yin. I'm just going to move so you can see me, but you can stay where you are. Fold forward into dangling. So with dangling, you can put your feet wherever you want. They can be close together, they can be further apart. You can have the toes out, you can have them further in. Fold forward. Let the arms hang if you want, or hold on to the elbows. Shake the head to loosen the neck. And you can play with the weight of the body. So we're looking for a stretch on the back line of the body here, particularly the backs of the legs. If it's too much, come up a bit. If you haven't got enough, then play with the position of the legs. And we're going to stay here for around 3 minutes and stay relatively still. Close your eyes if that's comfortable. And just notice where you can feel the stretch. If anybody has particularly high or low blood pressure, then you might prefer to do this on the floor. If you're feeling that the blood's going to the head, then open your eyes and I'll show you the alternative, which is to sit on the floor with your legs out straight and fold forward over the legs. The same thing, you can also play with the position of the legs. You can separate them, you can move the feet out, you can move the feet in. We're still stretching the back of the body here, but we haven't got the gravity so much. So this is another option if standing isn't really working for you. Sit on the floor and do it. And with any of these yin poses, if at any point they get too much, then back off, move to a lesser edge, or you can always come out completely and go into a neutral pose. Lying down on the floor, child's pose, something neutral, something relaxed. If at any point it's too much, don't stay in this pose for a certain number of minutes because I said. Move out anytime you feel you need to. We've got around another minute or so here. So if you just wanted to very, very slightly move the weight of the body, very small movements, just to notice where the stretch moves to. Slightly different place. And then stay still again for the last 30 seconds or so. So we're going to slowly come out of this, but rather than come up, we're going to come down. So you can separate the feet if you want to, you may well want to. We're going to come down to a squat position, so bend the knees, just briefly. You can put the hands on the floor. Close your eyes again, just notice how the legs feel. Maybe you might want to rock a little bit as a counter pose. Perhaps you might want to stretch out one leg to the side. Perhaps rotate the leg, bend the knee. You do whatever feels natural. Stretch the other leg out. Bend that knee, bring it back into a squat, and then we're going to sit down on the floor. Go this way. We're going to lie down, actually. Now you may want something for underneath your head here, so just grab a cushion or something. If you want to, you might not. We're going to move into eye of the needle. My favourite pose, quite honestly. So lie down with your knees bent. Our target area here is the glutes, the side of the leg, the side, back, bum area here. Maybe going into the side of the leg. So, bend the left knee, bring it in, and then place the ankle on the right leg. So you may be starting to feel the stretch here on the outer hip already. And you may think, okay, this is enough for 3 minutes or so, 3 or 4 minutes, and you want to stay here. Fine, stay here. If you want more, bring that knee in, take hold of that knee on the outside or the inside. Play with both of them, see which one suits you better. Make sure the knees are okay. If they're not feeling great, then move the placement. For example, you can move the placement of this top leg, maybe pushing it further that direction, or perhaps further up the leg or further down the leg. Play with the position of the leg. Hands on the outside or the inside, and perhaps if you feel like your head wants it, then you could put something underneath your head. Now, if you still haven't got enough, if you have got a mild to moderate sensation, that is okay for 3 minutes now, then stay here. If you still haven't got enough, then what you could do is you can play with the position of the legs. So maybe move them a bit to the left, move them a bit to the right. No massive movements. And just see, has that given you the stretch? And then when you find it, close your eyes and just allow yourself to marinate in that feeling. Noticing what's going on in that area. Okay, so we're going to move to the other side. So let go if you're holding onto the knee. Bring the feet onto the floor. Now before we go to the other side, just notice, again, stay still for this rebound, for this resonance. We're just going to have a short one here. Notice how the left side feels to the right. And then we'll move to the other side. Bend the right knee, bring it in, place the right foot on the left knee this time. Stay here if this is enough. Better to have not quite enough than too much, because you can always go in deeper after. If you want to go in deeper now though, bring that knee up, take hold on the outside, take hold on the inside knee. Play with the position of the legs if you want to, particularly if you're feeling any pulling in the knee or it's uncomfortable in the groin. And then you can also play, as we did before, with the position of the legs, moving them a bit to the left, moving them a bit to the right. And then when you find the right amount of stretch, you can feel the stretch, but you can stay with that stretch for around 3 minutes. Then stay there. Close the eyes. Focus on the sensation. This can be a really nice pose if you have been sitting a lot in a car, on the sofa, working. Really nice at the end of the day. For anyone who's not done yin yoga before, then as I mentioned at the start, we are in these poses for 3 to 5 minutes. And that can be very challenging. And our attention may wander, our minds, feelings may come up. And just let them be there. But rather than focusing on them, bring your attention back to the sensations that you're feeling in the target area of the pose. So in this case, the outer right hip. Keeping the body relaxed, keeping it passive. Okay, so we're going to move out of this. So let go of the leg if you're holding on to it. Let that foot come down. Straighten the legs out. And we're going to move into our final rebound Shavasana. So you just get comfortable. If you think you're going to be cold, then just put a blanket on. We're going to be here for around 4 minutes. Move the hips if you want to. Separate the arms and the legs if you want to. Just make sure you're comfortable. You can keep your head on something if you want to, that's fine. Neutral position. Close your eyes. Feel the effects of that yin-yang yoga practice. So in around half a minute or so, as long as the sound is okay on this Facebook Live, you're going to hear the sound of a bell, something like a bell. Just wait until you can't hear that sound anymore. And then just slowly, slowly make small movements, stretching, taking your time, and then come back up to a seated position to join me here. And if you didn't hear that for some reason, then you can start moving now, but just do it slowly, stretching fingers, toes, and just come back to meet me here. Keeping your eyes closed for a moment, just noticing how you feel. Take a deep breath in, breathe out through the mouth. Let the shoulders drop once more. Out through the mouth. And then just open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you for joining my Yin Yang Yoga session. So next we've got a meditation with Nigel. Nigel and I are in different places, so the live is going to be separate. This is going to happen after each of ours, just to let you know that. So we haven't disappeared, we're just in different places. So I'm going to go off now, and then Nigel will come on. So please just be patient. It may be a minute or two before he appears. And then obviously the same thing, I'll be doing a new one in an hour for our Yin Yoga session. You may need to refresh, possibly, if you don't see, but he will be coming, and I will see you in an hour. Thank you for joining me.